It's cool to know a book that we haven't cooked with in years. Do we still like the recipes we thought we liked back then? I'm gonna cook for my family for an entire week using only this cookbook. Stick around to see what we think. Ooh.
They're disgusting.
It's really good.
This is the nailed it situation.
Nailed it.
These ones look gross and these ones look good. Oh, they're the same thing.
That's really good.
I like it a lot.
I dig it.
Why is it sour? Wow.
It tastes like something you would get in a restaurant.
Anytime my dinner. Greetings everyone and welcome to, or welcome back to PB with Jay. I'm Jeremy and here on the channel we do a lot of plant-based things, from my own recipes to cookbook reviews and a lot of fun things in between. And this week we're going to be cooking exclusively from Angela Liddon's Oh She Glows Every Day. So this is a cookbook I actually already owned, and you can see I got some flags and whatnot in there. From recipes that I still want to try out. We own all of Angela's books, and by all of them, I mean 3 of them. If there's more, I should check that out. I should start doing research before I start talking to the internet. Anyway, so you can take from that, you know, we're pretty big fans of Angela here, and I believe I even have her app. So, we're programmed to probably like this book a lot, but as you know, our kids don't care if we like something in the past. We've also cooked from this book before, so I tried to pick recipes we haven't gotten around to trying yet. Before we get into the review, I'd like to say hello to some of our wonderful audience members. Kiora from Wangamatta, New Zealand. Please let me know if I pronounced the name of your town properly. I worked really hard on trying to learn that. Anna from New York City. Cindy from Roswell. Mindy from Rhode Island, Jan from Pennsylvania, Jan from Colorado Springs, Jennifer from Utrecht, Netherlands. Again, let me know if I said the name of your town properly. I'm trying really hard here. Troy from Tennessee. I'm kidding, I know that one's Tennessee. Grutzi from Switzerland. Again, I picked a lot of names here that I had to work on, so let me know if I nailed or failed there. And Diane from Chile. If you want to shout out, all you have to do is let us know in the comments down below who you are and where you're watching from. It is getting to be a bit of a long list, so if you want to jump to the top of that list, the best way to do so is to become a member over at the Mighty Network. The link is down in the description below, and some of the perks are early access to videos like this, you know, the members priority shout out. You also get a members only live stream once a month. But the best thing of all is the community comments and chats and conversations that are going over there. And you can get this all for the low price of a crappy cup of coffee a month. So consider checking it out. And if you want to support the channel in other ways, we've got a little merch store with fun shirts like this. If you haven't subscribed yet, do so down below and hit like to let YouTube know that other people should watch this video. Other than that, let's get to the recipes. Tonight for dinner, we're gonna serve Annie's favorite new dish that she's never had before, loaded sweet potatoes.
I've had loaded sweet potatoes before.
I know.
So you see the hat on him, right? Fits perfectly.
It looks like a dome cat. It looks like one of a safari hat.
You stretch your hats.
Because my pet is bigger. You understand how hats work, right? Anyway, we're making loaded sweet potatoes.
Invented how to make hats stretchy.
So, don't mind me as I'll deal with that after. This is really, really simple. And actually, Annie might have had this before because, again, this is a book we've cooked from before, but so many of you have recommended it. I needed a quick meal tonight, so I picked this one. And I also thought it'd be something the family would like and something you might enjoy to see. So it's really simple. It's you roast some sweet potatoes in the oven for anywhere from like 45 minutes to an hour or so, depending on how big they are. You gotta stab them with forks, make little holes in them. And then while those are cooking, I'm going to make an avocado cilantro crema using cilantro, garlic, an avocado, some lime juice, a little bit of water, and some sea salt. For the loaded aspect of the sweet potato, it's going to be like onions and garlic, along with some black beans and some spices and more lime. So I may have added a little extra spice into this. I put a little ancho chili powder in, just because, you know, it only called for a half a teaspoon because I doubled the recipe for 4 people. Woo! That's nice though. And the crema, those two together, oh, that crema is really good. We often just get lazy and we just like mix up avocado and splash in a little bit of lemon juice, you know, which is kind of what that is, but it's also got a little bit extra things in there. It's nice. I like the cilantro. It's nice. Adds a nice little pop of something. Just waiting on sweet potatoes now. That's the problem with this dish, is you really got to make sure those sweet potatoes are cooked. And you give yourself enough time to cook those, because otherwise this dish comes together super quick. It's just the sweet potatoes take like an hour. And then we're gonna top that with the avocado crema, as well as some green onions on top of the sweet potato. That's that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Hi everybody!
Hello.
You had a bite already? Oh, I forgot to get some cucumber. There's no greens in this meal, other than like, well, I mean, it's technically green, but like in terms of like just like vegetables. Thoughts?
Tasty.
Yeah?
Especially with olives.
You had some olives? How is it without the olives though?
It's still tasty. I think it's an avocado really.
Mmm.
That crema is really the,
Crema, what is that?
Guacamole.
that's the ticket.
This is really good. It's super simple. And we've done like loaded potatoes before all the
But this is a
time.
nice simple one.
It's super simple. Like the only thing that took time was the sweet potatoes. So if you do those,
Like I came home and I was like, he hasn't started dinner.
she's worried.
was
I started the
worried.
potatoes.
I didn't say anything, but I was worried. I was like, oh,
I was
gosh,
brewing kombucha.
that takes forever.
She's like, look at this. Just like taking his time,
I didn't say anything.
making juice.
I try to preserve our marriage.
Anyway, this is delicious. If the kids don't like it, I have lunch tomorrow.
It's really good.
Here comes Choco Boo Boo.
It tastes like a potato with guacamole, spicy guacamole, and beans.
But do you like that?
Yeah.
So what would you give it? What's your rating?
Ash.
It's S?
Whoa.
Whoa. We didn't give ratings.
I give it an A.
You're an A? Yeah, I'm saying, this is like an A+.
It's alright. It's easy to make so you get less marks.
Yeah, it was easy for you to make. You were in the basement playing video games.
It's got a nice kick to it, but I think it's lacking something. I don't know what.
Yeah.
The flavor's it's lacking some sort of flavor.
Let me put olives on it.
I did too.
Ooh. I'll give it a B+.
A B+?
Yeah.
Your stomach, Wooly.
I know, I'm hungry. Why are you taking so long to make dinner?
Because tonight for dinner, we're making red lentil curry, and we're going to make our own apple mango chutney. Are you excited to make our own chutney?
It's pudding's really good.
That's the future. We haven't gotten to the pudding yet. That's going to happen after this.
I can see the future.
Spoiler alert. I make pudding. That got weird. This actually calls for a fair bit of oil, which we're not going to use. And I know what you're saying, for those in the comments below. I know that when you add spices to oil, it intensifies the flavors and it makes them bloom and all that kind of stuff. I don't care. I don't want oil on my food. If you want to do that, you can do that. We're grading the modified whole food plant-based version of these dishes. But first we have to make the chutney, and that happens in a separate pot of its own too. So that's what's gonna be a little complicated here. Is just some time management over here, which is not always my strong point. This seems like a lot of sugar, so I'm gonna reduce it by about, maybe not quite a half, but a little bit more than a half. It calls for distilled white vinegar. That, to me, is a cleaning product. I'm gonna swap that out with apple cider vinegar. I don't know why you would ever put white vinegar in cooking. I'm sorry to Angela. That's nasty to me. Apple cider vinegar all the way, baby. Okay, so this is pretty simple. So you gotta cook the lentils in one pot off to the side. And in the other pan, you start making the curry with everything that goes inside of that. Otherwise, I think we're good. I hope we have all the spices we need. We usually do, but we're just a little low sometimes on spices. What do you think?
About the curry?
Yeah.
It's a B.
It's a B. Oh, so it's like not bad, but it's okay. But you didn't like the chutney, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about the chutney didn't you like?
I don't know. Too sour, maybe?
Too sour? Okay. To be fair, the mango we used was not as ripe as it probably should have been. So I think the mango is going to get, the chutney is going to get graded a bit on a curve tonight. So I apologize.
You're just having bad mango experiences in Canada.
Yeah, it's tough to get fresh mango,
In February, we seem to usually get good ones, so hopefully.
which is bonkers.
I like the chutney either.
You don't like the chutney?
I like it a lot.
Too sour.
Annie, what do you think?
It's a B
It's a B?
or a C.
C? So it's good enough to finish, is what you're saying. What's the way to eat this all together, right? What do you think?
I really like the chutney.
Hmm?
But I like sweet and sour things. The curry is just kind of, it's okay.
Which is funny, because we wrote in our notebook, it's delicious.
Well, you wrote that.
I wrote that.
For me, it was just too tomatoey. I just don't really.
Yeah.
I don't dig so much tomatoes.
So what do you give it?
Yes, a B.
A B? No. I would put this, I'm going to say it would be like an A minus. If there was a middle scale between A and B. I like this. It's not my favorite. Like, we've made better things like this since. I think also we got this book a long time ago, and we got to be better cooks. But I love the chutney. The chutney I would love to make again
Yeah, I would
with
eat the chutney.
riper mangoes. It's the tomato. It's very tomatoey.
Yeah. Could you put in more tomato than they said, though? Possibly. Do you know?
That is a possibility.
Yeah. It might be in a 14-ounce can and you put double.
No, but it called for more than 14 ounces.
Oh, okay.
It called for like somewhere in the middle. I called for I probably put in too much tomato. I'm sorry. I messed up the recipe. Is it a little too tomatoey?
Maybe.
I might have added too much tomato.
Kind of bitter.
Yeah, I think it's too much tomato.
I get a B minus.
B minus?
Yeah.
For dessert tonight, we're gonna make a secret ingredient chocolate pudding. What's the secret ingredient, Willie?
Shh, the secret.
Fair enough. It's a sweet potato.
You just ruined the secret.
But not for the kids.
Don't ever have him try and keep a secret for you. Doesn't work.
I would never lie to you, our lovely viewers. I'll lie to you all day long, Willie.
What?
It's a secret. I'm gonna keep this pretty similar to what they got in there. So this comes together pretty quickly, I think, but I pre-roasted some sweet potato. So you need to do that in advance before you make this. Otherwise, no good. I think you can also just use leftover sweet potato if you got some. All right, this is pretty simple. Basically, you put everything into the, it says food processor. I prefer that. I find if you make pudding in a blender, you lose like at least 5 to 10% of it. It calls for 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. I do have some aquafaba, so I probably use that. Put everything in, you blend it, and then you gotta make sure it goes into the fridge for at least an hour or so.
That's really good. You cannot taste the secret ingredient.
Too sweet? Good sweet?
No, it's perfect.
And she says it gets sweeter as it cools.
Oh, wow.
Like you get sweeter as you cool.
This one has sweet potato in it.
What are you talking about? There's a secret ingredient in this.
Sweet potato. You said sweet potato was for dessert. And this
You
is
saw
dessert.
sweet potato earlier.
Tastes like peanut butter. Not bad. You like almond butter?
What's your rating?
Oh, A.
It's an A?
B.
A B?
I don't. Maybe a B minus if there was.
Doesn't really like
So you do not like it. But you won't even eat more of it? Like you don't want a bowl of it?
Just a little bit.
Okay, so I'd say, I'd be honest, yeah, that's a C for you. Because if you'll have a little bit of it, that falls under C, I think. I like that a lot. It's very nutty. Like, it's almost a little too nutty. I like it. I think it's an A. It's not quite an S. It's like an A for me. Not my favorite chocolate pudding I've ever made, but I like it. I'd make it again.
I don't know. B.
A B?
Yeah.
It got more almond milky or almond buttery as it sat, I think.
Yeah.
But I still really like it. A.
It's an A. I liked it. I think it was more of an adult thing than a kid thing, ultimately. So if you're making this for kids, maybe not the favorite, but if you're making it for adults,
They really like almond butter. I think
Are we watching a movie in here?
yeah.
One day
We're watching a movie in here. Tonight for dinner, we're gonna make golden French lentil soup. It's a lentil stew. Stew, I should say, not soup. Stew, which I prefer. I like a stew rather than a soup. What's the difference? The amount of broth, really. Is that the only difference, Willie?
I don't know.
I think so. Let me know. I'm just saying that randomly, but I think that's actually the truth. This is pretty simple. I'm gonna make this cashew free so Willie can take the leftovers to school.
Yes.
I'm gonna use sunflowers as the cream instead. But the rest of it's typical soup kind of thing. You cut up your vegetables, you cook them in a certain order, and then you add all the stuff. You know, this isn't rocket science here. We're making a soup. I mean, we've had a million lentil soups in our house. This one seems like a good go-to.
This used to be one of our favorites.
This one?
Yes.
We never wrote in this
That's
one.
the one that we spilled all over the floor when we first got Rufus, and he ate it up. It's even his favorite.
Rufus even liked this. Wow. So this is a good question then.
But I don't know how it's gonna taste with sunflower seeds. That sounds dicey.
Well, that is a suggestion she has in the book. So maybe that's our new element we're testing. But also, it's cool to know like a book that we haven't cooked with in years. Do we still like the recipes we thought we liked back then? This video is a little different than the other ones we've done in this series because we have cooked from this book before. So, you know, making it different. Hopefully you like it. What do you think, Mama?
I think it's really good. I dig it.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. The sunflower's okay?
You can taste it, but it doesn't taste bad.
Nice. What would you rate it?
Stand by.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is 2 kilograms of candy good for $20?
That's a good deal, but no, you can't buy it. Back to you, Woody.
I can S.
Yeah?
I still really like it. And I think if we made it on a weekend or holiday, put the cashews back in. Tasty.
Even better, yeah.
But it's really good.
Yeah.
And it's so nice on this gloomy, rainy, slushy, snowy, gross day.
It's still gross outside. I don't know if you live somewhere where you get snow, but if you get snow, you also get slush. And those days suck. And that's the day we got today. This is delicious. I like it a lot. It's hearty. I like lentil soup anyway. I think the leeks make a nice difference in it compared to just onions. I think this is an A. With the cashew version, it's an S. Because I remember that. And it's just slightly better, but this is really good.
It's only okay.
Yeah? What's only okay about it?
I don't really like the flavor.
Yeah.
Tastes weird.
Really?
Smells weird. Actually, C.
C for you?
Wow.
Wow. Annie, what'd you think?
C minus.
Oh. Why?
Actually, yeah, I'll go to C minus.
For
You
kids,
know what? They used to love this soup and eat it.
That's true. So for little, and also
So
I
something
think
has changed.
the cashew cream makes a big
Yeah.
difference. So, but this was a swap she recommended in the book. The cashew cream is better. For fun and giggles, I'm gonna make this coffee shop worthy hazelnut milk. I have a milky plant maker, which you might have seen us review in another video. And I got the discount code down below for 10% off if you want a machine like that. But I'm just gonna make this one in my blender because that's what the recipe calls for. And I actually haven't used hazelnuts yet, so I'm excited to use this. She recommends soaking the nuts overnight, or you can do the quick method, which is just boiling some water and pouring them over top of that and the dates to soften them up, which is what I'm doing. I think I have a vanilla bean in here somewhere, but vanilla beans are expensive, so I might just use pure vanilla extract. Does she give an option for that? 1 teaspoon of pure extract. Yeah, I'm still following the recipe. We're good. I normally wouldn't put dates into it, but I'm gonna do what I'm told here. This is really simple. You basically throw everything into the blender once it's ready to go and let it rip, and then you strain it through a nut milk bag. I imagine if you don't have a nut milk bag and you like your milk on the thicker side, you could probably not, use the nut milk bag at all. But we'll see what the kids think as well of the taste of it, because we've been searching for a homemade plant milk that they will like.
Let me try this.
Well, okay. It's gonna be better cold.
It's actually pretty good.
Okay. That's one down. That's the toughest critic through. And that's not even cold. You're just having that like...
It's a bit bitter though.
I bet you as it cools down, it'll debitterize. Here's where I probably dump it out by accident. Maybe not though. Fluffy Duffy Milky. I'm try
Looks
it.
like almond milk. I already did try it. Oh, you're gonna try it.
Yeah, I like that. I wonder how it'll taste in the morning when it's cold.
The next day.
All right, Mommy, want to give this a rip?
That's really nice.
But as a plant-based milk, how would you rate it?
It's really good. An S.
That's about as good as it gets. Oh, it's really smooth.
I know, it's really nice.
It's definitely hazelnutty, so if you don't like that, that might be a problem. Did you find a new noise to put in the background? Cereal? Great. This is lovely. I like, if you don't like hazelnut, this is gonna be a deal breaker for you, but it's smooth, it's tasty. I might put less dates in next time. It's very sweet, but for a creamer, I'm gonna make a latte later, and so you'll get a second review from me, but this is definitely like an S for me as well. This is a delicious milk.
I don't like the smell. Why is it sour?
It's sour? Well, it's hazelnut. So hazelnut's probably a little bitter. But there's dates in there to make it a little sweeter to help compensate.
It's okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What would you rank it?
B minus.
Okay. Would you use that on like cereal or anything?
Probably not.
Okay. What about with some chocolate in there? Like make a chocolate milk out of that?
I don't know. I'd try it.
Yeah. Pretty good. And I'm going to try this in a latte in a second. Right now.
2 very boring minutes later.
So the milk did the typical thing that plant milk does when you heat it up, is it kind of got folly aparty and broke apart a little bit. It's a taste though. It's hot, but it's got a nice flavor. And it doesn't taste lumpy or anything. So if I had a frother, that would probably disappear. You wouldn't even notice it's there. That remains an S for me. That's a solid milk. So you probably saw me wrestling with that nut milk bag. Anyone that's ever made their own plant milk knows that squeezing those things can be a pain in the butt. You gotta get it out, then you gotta clean the bag. It's a whole thing. So if you wanna avoid that whole rigmarole, consider getting yourself a milky plant. We've been using our own milky plant for the last few months, and I'm sort of obsessed with it. It's a beautiful machine that allows me to make any kind of plant milk I want within minutes, and it's more or less self-cleaning. All you have to do is take out the little ring basket thing, give that a scrape down, pull out the pulp, put it in your fridge, because that's the kind of thing you can use to make cookies and squares and other delicious things. It's a no-waste machine. Additionally, what I really love about Milky Plant is that it's made for the environment. The amount of water and transportation and packaging and other things we do when we're eating, drinking plant milk on a regular basis just does not help our environment as a whole. Making your own plant milk is one way that you can give back to the planet. It's also just gonna save you a ton of money. The amount of money it costs me to make oat milk is pennies on the glass compared to what it costs to buy those little Tetra Packs. Now you might be looking at the cost point of a Milky Plant and think that's not a cheap machine. And you're right, it's not cheap. If it was cheap, it wouldn't be able to clean itself. If it was cheap, it would be full of parts that break down. I will say this though, I've ran the numbers and within less than a year of owning this machine, we'll be saving money on the amount of plant milk we have. And I'm telling you, I'm drinking plant milk for the rest of my life. So in my mind, that's a win-win. And I'm gonna save you even more money because I got a 10% off discount code down below. Using that link helps yourself save some money and it helps the channel as well. So if you're plant-based like our family and you wanna make your own plant milk without all of the messy cleanup fuss, consider yourself getting a Milky Plant. That was a weird way to end that. I did so well all the way along and then I just bailed at the end. All right, back to the video. In our ongoing quest to use less plastic in our house, I want to make these sun-dried tomato garlic super seed crackers because we like crackers. And it'd be nice to, you know, the boxes, the plastic, the packaging, it's a lot. So if we can make our own crackers on a regular basis, I would love that. These are pretty simple. You do need a couple extra tools to be able to make these. Like you need, ideally, like a small magic bullet or like really mini blender, a microplane or a guillotine. Not a guillotine, what's this thing called? Slicey cutter thing. A mandolin. Words are not always my best thing. Sometimes in the middle of the afternoon. Okay, so you need the little blender thing to grind up some chia seeds, and it's really important that you do that because that's gonna be your glue that's gonna hold this all together. You know, the only thing you really have to prep for this in advance is to take your sun-dried tomatoes, and you want the ones that come in a package, unfortunately, plastic, I know, not the ones that come in the oil pack jar. You want to soak that in like a cup and a half of hot water and just leave it. And when you take out the tomatoes to blend them up and pulse them, don't throw out the liquid because you're going to use that. And it's also got that tomato flavor goodness in it. You're gonna combine a bunch of stuff into a bowl. The list is here, obviously. And then once that is done, you're gonna put the garlic in, that ground up tomato, sun-dried tomato, and then you're gonna add in that leftover water and just stir it around until there's no more liquid left at the bottom of the bowl. Take a little spatula and just kind of divide the mixture in half and put one half on one baking sheet with parchment and one on the other. And you can use your hands, but I like to just take another small piece of parchment paper and just flatten it out. The book says you want to get it to around like 1/4 of an inch in height. Do your best just to make it even so it cooks evenly. So now we're gonna bake that at 300 degrees for 30 minutes on one side. And once that's done, take a pizza cutter, or if you don't have that, use like a really sharp knife and just cut them into big crackers and flip them over. If they don't flip over, it's not a huge deal. Most of them will, but if they're stuck to the parchment, just leave it, it's okay. Put them on for another 23 to 25 minutes, it says, but really, really pay attention for that last 5 to 10 minutes because you want it to brown, not burn. Transfer them to a cooling rack for a few minutes. And then it says to keep them in like a paper bag on the counter, probably so they don't get like too moisturized and hydrated with the air in your kitchen. So yeah, keep them in a bag.
I'll try one. These ones look gross and these ones look good. Oh, they're the same thing.
Okay, these remind me by look of Mary's crackers.
Yeah.
Like they're circles and they're all seedy and stuff like this. And to be honest, those are not my favorite crackers. But these taste like shake and bake.
Tastes like shake and bake. What's falling apart in your mouth? Hey, Annie.
It's good flavor, but there's too many seeds.
So what do you give it? What's your rating?
If the seeds were grinded up, then it would be better.
Okay.
Interesting.
Do you like less texture?
I really like it. Can't wait to dip it in some hummus.
It's a good flavor.
Especially homemade hummus.
Not homemade hummus. Yay!
She's mad at me because I bought hummus from the store.
Yeah. There's oil in it. It's in a plastic container. Did not need to do that.
I know.
It's also
Hummus
harder
is so
because-
easy to make.
It's also harder because the seeds get stuck.
We
in
didn't have
my
time.
places.
What's your rating?
A, but I'm gonna try it with this plastic store-bought hummus.
My rating is a B plus. It would be better if it was grinded up.
Okay. Do you like the flavor?
Yeah.
Ephraim, try these crackers. Try to train it.
Okay.
It just doesn't train very well.
Okay.
Some of them are more chewy.
You missed.
Aw, Eve.
That's Dad's fault for making bad crackers.
Yeah.
They're good crackers.
How are they? What's your rating out of?
Gently.
What's your rating, Eve?
Ooh, way better with hummus.
Way better with hummus.
Yeah, because it gets rid of the flavor.
What? So what's your rating, jerk? What's your rating without the hummus?
Your dinner.
B minus.
Can't wait for a snack.
I think they hold together as well as they do. I like it a lot.
You ground up chia and you put whole chia in?
I actually followed the recipe, man. Don't get mad
I
at
think
me.
you need to do that.
I didn't create this
What?
recipe.
Chia.
You understand this is a cookbook review, right? All right, now with hummus.
So good. Make these every week.
Willie says make these every week, so that means I think that should be an S rating then from you.
F.
S from Willie. These are great. Lots of flavor, and you can change the spices if you want. Really, 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 really good.
Okay, best easy go-to kid snack. If you've never done this, apple and cinnamon. Done. Tastes like candy.
A little bonus there for you.
And you know what's the best thing? You can put it in their lunch for school, and they don't notice if the apple turns brown because it's got brown on it already. Kids, they don't know stuff.
Excuse the dishwasher sounds. It's a dishwasher. But you never complain about the audio in these videos, so I appreciate that, even though there's things like dishwashers and there's a Rufus eating over there somewhere. Tonight's dinner is going to be the best marinated lentils and crispy smashed potatoes. Ooh, I'm making both these at once, so, you know, understand that as you're watching, we're gonna jump back and forth a little bit, but we're gonna get the potatoes going first. It's pretty simple. It's basically you boil the potatoes, then you smash them down, and then you bake them. So the potatoes take a beat to do. It's like an hour worth of time here. So we're getting started on this early. And then while they're cooking, at some point you make a avocado garlic aioli. She recommends using a homemade vegan mayo. She even has a recipe in the book, and I was gonna make it, but of course it calls for a cup of oil, and you know me, I'm not gonna put a cup of oil in my dinner. Luckily, Wooly accidentally made silken tofu when she was trying to make silken yogurt. So I've got this really thick silken tofu that's mayo-like. It tastes beanie-ish. I'm gonna add some apple cider vinegar to it to give it that mayo tang, but I'm looking forward to this. I think it's gonna be tasty. It's really simple. What do you want to try the crema? The garlic avocado
You
crema?
just made this the other day.
No, this is brand new.
Creamy.
Wait for the garlic.
Oh yeah, I taste the garlic. We're all gonna have bad breath.
Normally I would do these in like an instant pot, but I'm just gonna do them on the stove like she says. Cooking the lentils and then adding all the other ingredients to flavor them. You know what? I changed my mind. I lied. I'm gonna do them in the instant pot because it seems silly to me to cook these on the stovetop. So it was busy in the kitchen, and I neglected to turn the Instant Pot into the quick release when I was supposed to, and so the lentils got a little mushier than they probably should be. They look very beautifully cooked in the photo. Not so much here. This is the nailed it situation.
Nailed it!
But they're gonna taste delicious, right, Woody?
That's what you say.
The one thing I think I'm missing from the lentils is just some cherry tomatoes she recommends mixing into them. I missed it. I missed it on the grocery list, so we don't have that. So we're missing that pop of little flavor from that. But otherwise, the lentils are pretty simple too.
7, 6. Those things. Look at those things. Oh.
Okay. Another thing worth noting is that in both these recipes, it calls for a little bit of oil for the lentils as part of the marinade that goes on top of the lentils, and on the potatoes for just drizzling over top to help them crispen up. And use aquafaba for both of those. Aquafaba, for those who don't know, is the liquid that's left in a can of chickpeas. It's magical liquid. Don't throw it out. That you're gonna love. That is a sun-dried tomato.
I don't like sun-dried tomatoes.
Oh, please get some of that in your mouth. You're gonna love it so much.
I don't like sun-dried.
Hey, yo, what?
Everywhere!
It's part of it. Please try it with it.
I hate sun-dried tomatoes. They're disgusting.
Annie, really? They're salty.
Okay, this is a full bite, right?
Okay, full bite.
It's good.
You did such a 180. And then on the side of this, I'll probably add some peas or something just to add some greens to the dish because it's a bit vacant of vegetables.
It's really good.
Yeah?
I like this cookbook. We should cook from it more often. It's all mixed together.
Oh, okay.
As a meal, it's very good. It just tastes really good all together.
What do you give it?
S.
Spicy.
Spicy. It's garlicky.
Spicy.
Okay. I thought you liked spicy.
It's too spicy. It's good. The sauce is good. It's just spicy.
Oh, okay.
A S minus.
Oh. Okay. That's pretty good. Ephraim?
Potatoes are pretty good. Like Mom said, it tastes like potatoes.
But with the sauce
The
on top.
sauce, really garlicky.
Too garlicky?
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah. What do you think of them though?
I mean, the lentils, I'll give a B+. And potatoes, I'll give a A. Because, I'm just saying, not the best potatoes I've ever had. The best potatoes are like those like mini ones. And they like have like the crispy whatever skin. They're like pop in your mouth. You go like, you know?
I have to say something about the sauce. It tastes like something you would get in a restaurant.
Is that in a good way?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a very good note. Thank you. Those lentils are so much better than I thought they were going to be. They're called the best marinated lentils, and so I was like, that's a huge claim. This lives up. These are, I wouldn't think to have this. I thought this was going to be like an F. That's an S for me. Potatoes are awesome. I like the smashed potato format. We haven't really done that before.
Mini potatoes.
Yeah, mini potatoes are better because you get more. Delicious. I might have put too much garlic in, but I kind of just did what she said. She said one
My
large.
breath is gonna stink.
Aioli is great. Reduce the garlic by half, maybe. If I reduce that aioli, it'll be an S for sure. But it's just maybe an A. Annie's stealing my dinner. Tonight for dinner, we're gonna make the ultimate flourless brownies. Obviously the flourless caught my attention because Wooly is flourless. No, she's gluten-free. That's what Wooly is. This seems pretty simple. It makes it in a loaf pan as opposed to like a 8x8 or 9x9 square pan. So that's fun. So you make a flax egg and then you start adding everything together in a bowl. Oh, it's like a one bowl. I like that. One bowl meal. What am I gonna change? This looks pretty good. The sugar level is pretty low compared to a lot of recipes like this. It uses almond butter. It's pretty much already whole food plant-based. I think the only thing I'm gonna swap out is it calls for 3.5 ounces of non-dairy dark chocolate. I'm just gonna use chocolate chips because it's easier to do. And we have really good quality dark chocolate that we just use for kind of snacking on. And I don't wanna use it for this. And also our dark chocolate chips are basically the same thing. So there you go. She warns that the batter will be very thick. So just know that if you make this and it's very thick, that's okay. It's supposed to be very thick. I enjoyed doing that a little bit too much, I'm sorry. This looks good, and we happen to have some plant-based ice cream in the freezer that I can add to this. Don't mind the terrible noise, the dishwasher is on. So she says that you only bake it for 24 to 28 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. But what she says, don't bother with the toothpick test, because when it comes out, it's gonna be soft in the middle, and that's okay, that's part of the point. She recommends letting it cool for a little bit and then sticking it into a freezer for a half an hour.
I think the reason that it's like fudgy like a normal brownie is because of nut butter. It's fine.
What's the texture like?
It tastes like chocolate nut butter. It's like that's what the texture is too. It's like nut butter. It's really dense. A B plus.
Mommy?
The texture is good, but yeah, it tastes a lot like nut butter. Kind of tastes like stale nut butter, actually.
Maybe our nut butter is stale.
I don't know. But the texture is nice. Like it's gooey, kind of fudgy. I like that kind of texture in a brownie. And the flavor is medium.
So what do you give it?
A B.
My turn. What's up, gang? Here to review a brownie.
Okay.
My tongue sticking to the roof. My mouth.
Is that a bad thing?
No,
You need some milk?
it's okay, but like
He needs some milk.
flour brownies on top.
That one, what would you give this one then?
B minus.
Huh. Like it looks gorgeous. Like when you look at that, I'm like, oh my God, that brownie is gonna be amazing. The texture is, that needs the ice cream. For sure.
It's like eating peanut butter.
It's like eating like thicker peanut butter, but creamy. It's weird. It's more like the texture's bizarre. It's not
Don't
terrible.
make this again.
This isn't terrible with the ice cream. Let me just try it with a little bit of.
Hey, that's my spoon.
It's nice. Wow. Like it doesn't look like a huge portion. That's a lot. It's very decadent. You're not gonna want more than this. But it's a B, like everyone else said. It's right down the middle. I don't hate it. I'd probably never make it again, but I'm definitely gonna eat it. It's tasty. I wouldn't make it again. So what did we think of Oshi Glows Every Day? I mean, you just watched the video. You know we didn't hate this book at all. Generally speaking, I think I would say that the flavors in this book might lean a bit more towards adults than children. But if you've got teenagers or adventurous flavor tasters, they might be game as well. I didn't really get into anything from the breakfast section of this book because, if I'm honest, I found it to be a little bit generic. So if you're used to eating this way or have a bunch of other cookbooks, you probably won't find anything in here that you haven't already seen in other places. That said, this is a very solid book, and there's a lot of things in here that are probably gonna become staples in our house, like those crackers. In fact, I got one right here, and I'm just gonna munch on it. Now I gotta wash it down. Sorry, this turned into a whole thing. So overall, it's a solid buy all around. And if you're gonna buy it, consider using my link down below to, give a little kick to the channel. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button to let YouTube know to tell other people to watch it. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and do that as well. And YouTube wants you to watch this video next. They know stuff. They know you. They sent you here at some point, and that was a good thing.